Well, Hillary Clinton's at it again, attacking Bernie Sanders regarding an interview Sanders did with the Daily News yesterday. Senator Clinton also spoke in a very condescending manner as she implied that young voters who have gotten involved in the political process and who are mostly supporting Sanders were in effect protesting, and implied that she was once young and naive.
I think it's exciting to be, in effect, protesting. I remember I did that a long time ago when I was in my 20s, and I totally get the attraction of this. And in all the research that I have seen about who is supporting Senator Sanders, a lot of the young people like both of us. They really like me, they admire what I've done, what I stand for, and they really, really like him.
I mean, was that answer just a smidge dismissive?
Hell yeah.
Clinton's chief strategist, Joel Benenson, pictured here, mirrored the statements of Clinton and also stated that Sanders' idealistic fans needed to bring the enthusiasm to the general election. For Hillary Clinton, of course. Apparently, Mr. Benenson has forgotten that we're still voting in a primary and Hillary hasn't been crowned the nominee quite yet. But it didn't stop him from trying, as we see here.
Asked about reaching out. She admires the enthusiasm. We all do. We've all said it over and over again. There's no question. He is building up energy at these rallies. We're going to have to turn this energy towards defeating the Republicans in November, and hopefully he'll be helping do that, because I believe Hillary Clinton's going to be the nominee.
Benenson was then asked why he thought Hillary was about as trustworthy as a one-eyed Kentucky hobo when it came to a recent poll. Benenson stated that this was because Sanders had never seen the vicious attacks that came with being a first lady, and implied that Bernie Sanders' 30 years in the political sphere wasn't quite long enough for people to get a real good feel on him, also adding that Bernie Sanders hadn't seen the scorn of Republicans and criticized him for not being president like Barack Obama yet. But Benenson did say Sanders had run a favorable little campaign, and said most of Sanders' supporters still really liked Hillary, despite their serious lack of trust.
Do you think the candidate is honest and trustworthy? Hillary Clinton, 58%. Bernie Sanders, 89%. How do you explain that chasm?
Well, one big explanation is, the Republicans have been attacking Hillary Clinton for quite a long time. The truth is, they attacked her when she was First Lady. They've attacked her when she ran for Senate. He has never had to withstand what Hillary Clinton or someone like President Barack Obama has had to withstand. Now, he has, run his campaign in these last year very favorably. He's obviously got a lot of people who are favorable to them. But when you look at the polls, pretty much equal numbers of people in our primaries are favorable to both of these candidates.
Right.
Hillary Clinton then took a jab at Senator Sanders, referring to their differences in opinion on gun control. Clinton deceptively remarked that Sanders was somehow siding with gun manufacturers and callously siding against the families who lost loved ones at Sandy Hook.
Talk about heading into New York even before this interview, but since he made these comments, and in the interview he said he does not support the effort by victims of the Sandytown massacre to sue gun manufacturers. The Clinton campaign has been all over that. They held a conference call today with surrogates, and take a look at what Hillary Clinton said on Morning Joe this morning.
The front page of the news, which is one of my biggest contrasts with Senator Sanders, that he would place gun manufacturers' rights and immunity from liability against the parents of the children killed at Sandy Hook is just unimaginable to me.
In truth, Sanders has a D- rating from the NRA and believes that manufacturers who have sold guns legally and with the best intentions should not be sued and held responsible for tragedies they could not foresee or avoid. Sanders believes strongly that sensible gun control is very important and believes that any gun manufacturer that knowingly sells or provides firearms to a person or persons who are known to be a danger to society should be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law and forced to pay reparations if there are any victims. Hillary Clinton was later interviewed on CNN and asked about the superdelegates who had pledged themselves to Clinton before either candidate had even given a speech or received a single vote from a citizen of any of the 50 states, leaving many Americans with a feeling of disgust and a lack of confidence in the fairness and the overall spirit of the voting process in the Democratic race. Clinton stated that Bernie Sanders knew what he was getting into, but she failed to recognize or respond to the way that many American voters might feel about her getting an unfair advantage.
Do you think that that will mean that you'll need superdelegates? Because the Sanders campaign essentially says that's dirty pool. The superdelegates are an artificial help to you.
Well, you know, he knew what the rules were when he decided to run for president, but most importantly, I think we will reach whatever number is required. We're going to continue to acquire delegates and add to our total. I have more delegates than he does.
It appears Clinton is not feeling the burn, but she's certainly feeling the heat after losing 7 of the last 8 states, and also finding out she lost Nevada, the state she thought she had already won. Hillary might be smiling and laughing in interviews, but the increase in dirty tricks from her, coupled with the attempts to smear Sanders by mainstream media outlets like the New York Daily News, are obvious signs that the Clinton campaign and the establishment are getting nervous, and they're looking to stop Sanders any way they can before the New York primary. For every Bernie Sanders supporter in an upcoming primary like New York, Wyoming, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, and California, it is imperative that we keep spreading Bernie's message and keep fighting to put pressure on superdelegates and the DNC and keep them honest, or at least as honest as possible, in order to fight for progressive values and fight against corruption and evil forces like this.